that is calling the distance shore report. This string here. I'm gonna, before I click it, you might just notice here the TXT long is holding our value for the longitude, and the TXT lat is holding the value for the latitude, and also the geo result. Those are the three most important things to send to the RiskMeter. But we also ask that you send the address as well. It can help, when we're tracking down a problem, and just so we know exactly what address we're looking at. Right, this is an easy way. If you want to get back a map, this will just show you how easy it is. All you got to say is txt genmap image equals true. That's going to give you a map URL, and you'll see that below. All right, submit this now to see the XML response. And here we have, again, it always tells us our location at the top. In that field, you'll always find the location information. Then you'll see that the tests will be broken down here. If we had run multiple, you would see multiple sections for tests. In this case, we only ran one, so it's under the SL tag.
So just so people know, we internally call them either tests or reports. So example, a flood test or a flood report might have 7 different fields come back. We call it a test or a report. When we talk about reports or tests, we use those things interchangeably, and there's a little tag for each test. You can see that a distance closest is called SL, shoreline. A flood, the FZ for flood zone. So all you basically in that, before there was SL, if you put SL and then what, semicolon and FZ or whatever, right? Then
right, run both.
Right, and then you request multiple reports. It's that easy, okay?
We're looking at the SL is the test ID for shoreline. Really, when you call the application, the only thing you really want to look for in this case is, if you just want to know the data for distance to shore, is this result field, which is telling us it's between 0.4 and 0.5 miles.
Right, or upper bound, because it's
yes, but want just a single value, and in that
right.
case, you could just take the upper bound. Really, just the higher value of the range of result here. And here I can even open on another test here so you can just see how it breaks down if we were going to run flood too. I'm just adding it to our test list at the top. So I'll show you an example of, hey, we ran 2 reports at once, and I'm sure how fast that can happen. So here we are getting our distance to shore and flood reports. And, like Dan was talking about, if all you care about the zone, you can just pull the zone field. Or you can do as much information as you want here. When we were talking about the map, we have our image URL here at the bottom. You would image URL with the image name, and that allows you to return a map in your own portal or web page application. Okay. That's a string builder there. It's very easy to use. Whether you're a developer, a programmer, an analyst, whoever you are, you can still see the data in real time. It also helps a lot when you're building an application and you want to see, hey, what does the data look like for this address versus this address? You can come in here and just compare the two real quick. I'll pop in back to the eHelp tab here. Getting started guide. So when people want to integrate, this is definitely something you want to look at, and it covers the topics Dan was talking about with logging and what tasks us. There's a unique ID we like, so we can track requests a lot easier. And I just want to go into one section here of the full Help suite. Let's say you're just looking for distance to shore for now, and you want to see some definitions of the XML. You can just go over here on the side, the XML output, and you can just scroll down looking for distance to shore. All right. This breaks it down. It describes each field. Like we were talking about the upper bound, how it contains the highest number of the zone that's being searched. So nice to quickly reference the information. And again, if you're looking for geocode information, what was that geo result again? You come down under the geocode booklet and geo results, and I'll give you another place that you can review that information. So this help also includes our string-to-string documentation. Some of the older customers have a client DLL solution, so we have that included as well. And this is a good little reminder here, this HTTPS connections. We do accept secure connections, secure socket layer. So any of the data you're sending to us can be secured on its way in its travel path to us. Going back to here, I don't know if we're going to open up to any questions now, but I'll let Dan kind of lead us in the direction we're going to go here.
So hold on, let me see if I can take the time back. Mute everyone. Okay. At this point, we'll open it up to questions. So go ahead. Does anyone have any questions?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Bill Dine here. And I appreciate you guys doing the demo. We've got this Jim Reagan and Lou Theodore and Kent Jones, who's our and president. We've done integration, and I don't. Jim, did you speak to Dan? Who did you?
Actually, I was speaking to Monique, and we're actually. Okay. I mean, we're set up. We've already signed up for the integration.
Yep. Okay. We currently use RiskMeter. So our next step in our online integration is to look at integrating RiskMeter and another item, actually Marshall and Swift. So and it sounds like what you've given us is similar to what we did with IX in string to string. If I understand, you basically use a username and password. I think we're familiar with that, and I would say. We don't have IT people here today, so we have a bunch of wannabes. we go a little bit. The other thing you talked about was the XML format, and is that like the what they would refer to as a middleware type solution, or maybe not? But that and we may not be able to do. So I'd have to defer to our programmers on that. But
well, in a nutshell, I mean, it's just a question of. Do you want the stuff back formatted in Word, or do you want it formatted in Lotus One or Word, or in I don't know, Pad? Or was it Word Perfect in the old days? It's just that I think the XML comes out with tags all over it. You don't have to parse the stuff out and figure out, okay, start this and what's this tag. It comes out as tags. So I think it just saves the programmers a step.
Okay. See, one of the issues we got into, and this was with more secure type data, was the username or password are using a client-side certificate, and the client certificate posed a few more issues for us, so that's why we had to get the middleware involved. So the XML format, are you still using the username and password?
Yes, but
okay.
this is a conversation to have offline, and the guy Ryan on the phone is probably the guy we should get on the phone.
Right. All right. I'm not digging into the details. I just wanted to make sure I understood there.
Yeah, but I think that's a question for Ryan. You right over my head. I only know.
Yeah, I mean the request is the exact same. Both the requests you're going to send in the username and password.
Okay.
The only difference is the output. Do you want string back or do you want XML back?
Okay. So in layman's terms, right now users will go online, they'll enter in the address of the disk. So what we're looking for, what we're hoping that this will do for us at that time is how to know whether or not it meets our guidelines. So we would basically give them, yes, you can proceed, or a no, you can't proceed. Is that something that happen?
Absolutely. That's what we're saying, is that someone in a form on your website enter an address and whatever else, and first thing that happens is it says, it says, hey, how far is this from the coast? And if it's too close, it just you'd get a value back, and your system says, oh, the value is less than 2,500 feet, we just say no, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, and it's completely automated. So no one has to. No, it's in the form that you'd start a submission in, anyways.
So it's now. Does it cost any more to use this type of format?
No, typically it actually costs less because everything's volume driven. So typically when people integrate, they end up doing more transactions because the underwriter says, I don't think I need to try this, and I don't really want to do the work. Okay, are there any questions?
Yeah, that's a good question. What if we wanted to give you a list of, say, 50 zip codes, and those ones we needed to check? Everything else we wouldn't need to. I assume we could probably set up some sort of table probably on our end that would say, go out and check RiskMeter for these zip codes. All else we don't need to. I can't imagine that would be a problem.
That's exactly what that was the point that was brought up. Sorry, here I had that on here that make a list. You control what you send. So your system hits a zip you don't care about. Don't even bother calling the RiskMeter.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
And it ends up running today.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Right. They said, as they did when they did the big dig up here, they said Rome wasn't built in a day. If it was, we would have hired their contractor.
I didn't do it for him, I promise.
Okay.
When we decide what direction we're going to move in, who do we end up contacting that?
I think Monique is your account rep, but just call her and she'll coordinate for you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other questions?
You did a great job answering them for us.
Thank you. Anyone else have a question?
Yeah, Dan, this is Ben Davidson with RPS.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Is this presentation available for download?
Sure. Just send me an email, and if anyone wants it, just send me an email, and I'll send it over. And I'm recording it on WebEx too, in case anyone wants it. Okay, other questions?
That's it.
Okay, well, thank everyone for your time. Actually, I usually put my email here. It's dmunson@cdsys.com. Appreciate everyone's time. Have a great afternoon and enjoy the rest of the summer.